Hello everyone, this is MJ. You are at my channel called Reading This Life. Reading This Life is where we talk fiction, friends, and fun. In this video, we're going a little rogue. We're going to talk about some nonfiction history. And remember, before we get started, to like this video, comment down below, and let me know, have you ever been to Gettysburg, Pennsylvania? Is that on your bucket list? Do you love Civil War history? Do you love history in general? Let me know. I'd be really interested to find out. Okay, so I am fresh back from a little getaway trip to Gettysburg. Gettysburg has been on my bucket list for quite a while, primarily for the history, but also the hauntedness. Yeah, it's one of the most haunted places in the United States. I don't know if you know that or not. Per square foot, let's say that, per square foot. We took a little 2.5 day trip. Gettysburg is about a little under 3 hours from where we live, and now it's not really the busy season, but it's not really the off season either. Everything is getting spooky. You know how I love spooky things. So this was a real treat. So I'm just going to share with you a little bit of my travel vlog. I took a lot of video and a lot of photos, and just to share with you a little bit about what I experienced. So how we kind of designed the trip, actually the Mister designed most of this trip, and I kind of just went along for the ride, which is what I love because I didn't have to plan anything. And he did a really good job. You'd be really happy with him. So we did a little bit of history. There are tons and tons of restaurants down in Gettysburg, and we tried a lot of the local cuisine. We also did the battlefields. We did some haunted tours, which was a lot of fun because you're blending the history in with the hauntedness, which is like right up my alley. It's just a perfect fall time to be in Gettysburg. If you live near Gettysburg, and you've never gone, please go. You really don't know what you're missing out on. And of course, your girl had to find out where the book spots were. So, of course, I did some book shopping as well. Okay, so first and foremost, disclaimer, this trip was for fun. I'm not a historian. I did not pretend to be a historian. I try to be a sponge and suck up as much information as I can. But what I did learn was basically, I mean, they teach you this in school, but gosh, it's so long ago. And some of the facts really just came back to me and really blew me away. Like, I forgot how devastating the 3 days in July were. So for all of my friends in other countries that don't really have a good grasp on United States history, I'm going to give you a little primer, okay? Courtesy from the National Park Service, because this is a national military park, not just a national park, it's a national military park because the battlefield is a part of the national park. So, let's see, not all of the park was open when we were there, but most of it was. So the Battle of Gettysburg was a turning point in the Civil War. It lasted 3 days. It was July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in the year 1863. And it was the Union versus the Confederacy. That was the Confederacy was Robert E. Lee, and the Union was led by Ulysses S. Grant. So I'm going to read to you from the National Park Service website. It's nps.gov. If ever you are traveling to any national park in the United States of America, always check out the Visitor Center first. Visitor centers have so much information. A lot of it is free, and a lot of it you do have to pay for, but the money goes back into the park services. And it's just a wealth of information, a wealth of resources. They have a lot of fun things to do. Here at Gettysburg, you can actually, they have an audio tour that you can take on your own in your vehicle. Or you can pay to have a park ranger come in your vehicle with you and basically give you a one-on-one tour of the entire battlefield, which is like awesome as well. A lot of the National Park Rangers are also historians, and they live for this. They live for this. This is their passion. This is their livelihood, and it shows. It really, really shows. So, A New Birth of Freedom. The Battle of Gettysburg was a turning point in the Civil War, the Union victory that ended General Robert E. Lee's second and most ambitious invasion in the North. Often referred to as the high water mark of the rebellion, Gettysburg was the Civil War's bloodiest battle and also the inspiration for President Abraham Lincoln's immortal Gettysburg Address. I mean, it's just chock full of information. We did the National Cemetery tour. I'll put some footage in here of that. We also did the Evergreen tour, which has the grave of Jenny Wade. I just want to get some facts here. I do not want to misspeak about Jenny Wade. Okay, so Jenny Wade was a resident of Gettysburg, and she is the only civilian to die during the Battle of Gettysburg. The only civilian to die during the Battle of Gettysburg. She was hit by a stray bullet. Now, one of the haunted tours is of the Jenny Wade house. The Jenny Wade house has been featured on Ghost Adventures. It's been featured on Ghost Labs. It's been featured on Ghost Hunters, all of those ghost investigation shows, because this house is haunted AF. That's it. That's all I'm saying. So we did an evening tour with our guide who has their degree in American history and was super knowledgeable and just gave us this wonderful presentation. And you really felt like you knew who she was as an individual. It was amazing. Let me get some information about Jenny. There is one photo of Jenny, and it's the same photo that just keeps getting replicated. And it's her standing with, I think, her sister and a friend. And it's basically just her headshot that keeps getting repeated. So there's really only one image of Jenny that's out there. So she aided the Union when her house, or actually it was a relative's house, was under attack. She was baking bread for the Union soldiers. She was baking bread as a stray bullet hit her in the kitchen area, and it killed her, basically on impact. So Jenny and her mother did not live in the Jenny Wade house. They lived in another house that they thought was going to be in the middle of a battle during the war. So they moved to Jenny's sister's house, Georgia, who recently gave birth, and Georgia's house was literally in the middle of the battle lines. Jenny's house, where she came from, did not incur one single bullet, one single shell, one single anything, nothing. It was free from any signs of war. So because of that decision, she placed herself in the middle of these battle lines. So she's at the house with her mother and her sister, and knowing that they are now under attack, Jenny decides to wake up on the morning of July 3rd. This is from the website battlefields.org, because I do not want to get this wrong. On the morning of July 3rd, Jenny awoke earlier to fetch water and knead dough to make bread and biscuits. The dough she was kneading was destined to become bread for the Union soldiers. Unfortunately, a bullet flew through two closed doors and hit her in the shoulder. It lodged itself in her heart and got trapped in the body of the corset she was wearing. She died instantly. The dough that Jenny was kneading at the time of her death was also later baked into bread by her mother. It made 15 loaves that were distributed to Union soldiers. Union soldiers helped wrap her body in a quilt and either brought her to the cellar or buried her in the backyard immediately. She was moved to the town's German Reformed Church in November 1865, and her body was eventually moved to Evergreen Cemetery, where President Abraham Lincoln delivered the Gettysburg Address. In 1900, the tireless efforts from Georgia, Jenny was given a large gravestone and a perpetually raised American flag. It is one of the few it is one of the few sites in the United States with a perpetual flag raised in the honor of a woman. Jenny was treated as a hero after her death for dying in service to her country. Georgia's house became a tourist destination and is known as the Jenny Wade House. We went to the gravesite. It is very impressive. People put pennies on the grave, and I don't know why they put pennies on the grave, but if you know, leave me a comment section down below. I can only think a penny for Jenny, but I don't know what the meaning of it is, but there were just lines of beautiful pennies with Lincoln's head turned up on the gravestone. So let me know if there's any meaning to that. I couldn't find anything, but I didn't get a chance to ask anyone. So the Jenny Wade House, we did an evening tour, and they take you through all the rooms, and they show you the original doors where the bullets flew through. The original doors that still have the bullet holes. Like, and in the basement, there's a replica scene of possibly Jenny's body wrapped up in a quilt. They're not sure exactly who is in the house. It could be Jenny. There is some type of a disturbance that happens occasionally where it sounds as if there are multiple men running up the stairs. There's commotion, and it's thought to be that they are taking Jenny's body and bringing it upstairs, where she subsequently she bled out on the floor. She was already dead, but there's blood in the floorboards, and the floorboards are original, and there's all that stuff. I will tell you, when I crossed the threshold, I felt something, and I said to the mister, I said, that was strange. And I didn't know at the time, but other people experienced the same thing, because the tour guide said that once you cross the threshold, a lot of people feel some type of sensation. I felt it before they even told me. I will say, there's also a spirit of a little boy named Billy. I'm not sure who Billy belongs to, but he's pretty innocent from what I gather, but he likes to touch people and poke people. My husband got touched twice. And he does not believe in the afterlife. He does not believe in ghosts or anything like that. And it kind of, not startled him, but he said to me, he's like, are you touching my back? And I'm like, I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm here with my hands folded, like praying to God nothing happens to me. But yeah, the tour guides were amazing. It was a great experience. The house is freaking small, like really small. So I will put some photos in here of the house. I can't put any video. They really don't want you to take video or anything like that. So that was the Jenny Wade house, and that was one of our favorite pieces of history. The battlefield, oh my gosh, if you love monuments, then you will love Gettysburg. There are so many beautiful, incredible, huge, insane monuments everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Dedicated to states, dedicated to the military service of certain states, the brigade, the companies, the actual states. It's just amazing. I will put some photos in here. There were a few that really blew us away. North Carolina was amazing. Also, General Lee was amazing as well. The monument for the state of Pennsylvania. 35,000 soldiers participated in the Battle of Gettysburg. 3 days, 35,000. Every single name is inscribed on the foundation wall of this monument. Incredible. It's really, really powerful. And you're not able to go through the park at night. It's closed from sunset to sunrise. But you get that eerie feeling. You really, really do. And I will say, my husband and I, we did the tour where you're in the car and then you're listening to the audio, and there is a park ranger that's just describing everything to you. We went to one section off of Culp's Hill, And it was the deadened woods is what they call it. And these trees still hold bullet holes, fragments, things left over from the war. You can see the devastation, like, still in the trees. We were walking up the hill to go back to our car. I hear a gunshot. We're in a national park. There's no guns. It's not hunting season. It's bow season. 2 minutes later, I said to my husband, I said, you know, I thought I heard a gunshot. Like, it registered with me, like there shouldn't be a firearm going off. And he said, I heard the same thing. Did we hear some type of leftover sound from a time long ago? Possibly, if you believe in that. Possibly. Yeah. Lots of fun. Last night we did the Orphanage. That was interesting. Not as good as the Jenny Wade house, but interesting. A lot of kids were just, whether their fathers were deceased in the war, whether their mothers were ill and passed away. The children, if the mothers weren't able to take care of the children, the orphanage was set up to help. Just brutal treatment. Not nice things are happening to these kids. Just really, really sad. Didn't get any vibes, didn't get anything from that. The host was a very good storyteller and really like tried to scare you, and it really did work. A lot of the stories were told in pitch black darkness. So if you are afraid of the dark, you probably would not like this type of a tour. And it was fun. It was fun. I wasn't freaked out at all. They also told us about some other buildings. One of the restaurants that we went to is supposedly haunted by the owners. Just a lot of cool stuff. The thing with Gettysburg is that 10,000 men lost their lives over a 3-day period. 10,000 men. It is the bloodiest battle on United States soil in history ever. And there's a lot of unrest. A lot of the Confederate soldiers were put into mass graves. It's almost incomprehensible to fully understand what went down. Like, we're talking, you know, just the lives lost and the injuries and people that were never accounted for. Just amazing stuff. Now, the cemetery, the National Soldier Cemetery, has markers, and all of the markers are numbered, and each state they have them set up in a semicircle. So no one state has a better position than the other. They're all raised to the same level, so you're not showing favoritism to any one state. It's actually very solemn, and it's very moving when you're walking through that. We also went to the site of the Gettysburg Address. That was amazing. And I went to, where else? Gettysburg Address. Oh, I went to the library today too. And there was a statue of Lincoln there. Yeah, so for the monuments at the battlefield, just amazing. It's amazing. All right, let's talk food. Yeah. So we went to Dobbin House. No, the first day we went to Sweeney House. Sweeney House Tavern, or Sweeney Tavern. Sweeney Tavern is also haunted, and it's very small. And they had, what did they have on the menu that was different? It was peanut soup. I'm like, the bartender asked, he's like, do you like peanut butter? And I said, yes. He's like, do you like peanuts? And I said, yes. And he's like, you might like this then. I said, okay. I tried it and it was amazing. It was so good. Really, really good. So we did that. So that was like a really, really light lunch. And then we had dinner at the Dobbin House, which is haunted. And we had dinner in the library, which I crossed my fingers that we were going to get the library. The house They have a tavern side, and then they have a fine dining but casual attire side. And there's a parlor, a dining room, the library, and I think there's a bedroom that you can also dine in as well. And everything, like their decorations are still their decorations. You have no idea how bad I wanted to go up and take a book off those shelves and just take a peek at it. It was the original books, and it just looked amazing. So he was the town clergy, I guess. He was married to his first wife. They had 9 children. Then she died, and he got married again, and I think he had 8 more children. So there's a lot of children running around this house. This house is huge. And they say that one of the wives, we don't know if it was his first or second, appears in the bathroom for the ladies that may be touching up their makeup. Because back then, women held in high regard did not wear makeup. Ladies of the night wore makeup. So if you are in the bathroom of the wife of clergy and you're putting makeup on, the missus does not like that at all. And she will let you know. That's the story that we heard. But the food was great. I had, what I had roast duck, and oh, it was good. It was really, really good. Yeah, everything about the Dobbin house was great. And then last night we went for something completely different, and we went to the Gettysburg. And the Gettysburg is just a burger joint, and they have these incredible combinations. I think I took a snapshot of the menu, so I'll put it here. But I had the apple burger that had like apple slices on it. It had apple caramel sauce, which sounds weird, but it was really good. It has some type of cheese, maybe like a cheddar, and it also had 2 slices of bacon. And I mean, when I tell you it was good, it was good. It was so good. Really, really enjoyed that. The Hubs had smokehouse burger, I guess. But there were a bunch of different ones that you could have tried. And then we went over to For the Historian Bookshop, which is right on, is it on Baltimore? I think is it on Baltimore? No, it's on York Street. It's on York Street in Gettysburg. I met Larry, who may be the owner. I think he is. And he gave me a bunch of bookmarks. And lots of, if you want books on Gettysburg, Larry's the guy you want to talk to. He says he sells a lot online, sells a lot on eBay. If I could find that information, I will link it down below. I will list their website down below. Super personable. You know how book people are. We just start talking about books and you're there for 15 minutes already. My poor husband was standing outside and I'm like, I better go because he's gonna like walk away. But Larry, thank you so much. I really am looking forward to reading my book. I'm gonna show the book in a haul video that I'm gonna be taping after this because I did get some other books as well. I supported the local library and I went to their bookstore and I got some books there and I got a book in the mail. God help me. But yeah, so Larry, thanks so much. I think you are a new subscriber. Thank you so much for subscribing. And also thank you so much for the cool, bookmarks and the book recommendation. What else did we do? Today today went to the library. So here's some scenes from outside the library. And I think that's it. So in between all of this, I'm putting a lot of fall foliage. I'm putting a lot of scenes. So absolutely, if Gettysburg is on your bucket list and you have never gone, it is family friendly. It is super affordable. Pretty much their downtime, their off season is between January and March, I think. Of course, the High Holy season is July 1st through the 3rd, where people come, they get dressed up, they participate in the reenactments and all of that good stuff. So yeah, if you ever want to go in July, start planning now. But yeah, it was a really, really good trip. I highly suggest going during spooky season. There's just something about it. You get the fall leaves, you get the autumn colors, you get the ghost stories. It just makes everything a little bit better. So that is my travel vlog, everyone. And I hope that you enjoyed it. The books that I picked up on this trip, again, I'm going to film right after this. So make sure to check that out for what did MJ get on her trip. So, that's it here from me. I will see you in my next video. Or you can check out one of these too. Could be something fun for you. But I hope you're all safe and well. I hope you are taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. And I will see you in my next video. So until next time, everyone, goodbye for now.